basically that's how our clients need to be. Just go on the beach and we'll take care of it for you.
Oh, that's great. That's why I like to collect my money on the beach. I think we have Miss Davis here joining us. Can you mute yourself there, Kathie?
Yeah. We are having a new phone system put in today, and it's part of the computer network, and it's been a little crazy. So sorry.
That's okay. Glad to have you. Thanks
you guys for having a good conversation without me.
Well, we were a little slow to get started, but Mr. Soto here came in and saved the day here for us, and so did
thank you, Dave.
Yeah, so
thank you
good.
very much.
Thank you for joining. Yes.
So the city, I think we haven't really had too much change this week. I think that the sheriff is still going out. Chris is sweet talking his way into some better court dates than what they initially want to give us. You know, they were trying to give us dates in September for recently filed cases, and I think he got those back to August. And I don't think they've had any real COVID instances in the courthouse yet. The county, on the other hand, is very bad. They had 4 more people that work there test positive for COVID. They went from phase 2 back to phase 0. Interestingly enough, though, I think that we're going to be able to keep doing what we're doing. Fortunately, you know, since we already had gotten used to the Zoom court hearings and got those set up and that kind of thing, I think that's just going to continue. And I'm on a small committee of landlord and tenant lawyers that's going to have a Zoom meeting with the presiding judge next Tuesday. So I might have more info for you then. They did a town hall for lawyers yesterday, and they were patting themselves on the back for how great the landlord, tenant, and associate dockets are going. We kind of don't agree. It's a big deal to us that, you know, the sheriff still isn't going out. I'm thinking since they've moved back to phase 0 for at least 2 weeks, the sheriff is not going to go out until 2 more weeks goes by, and they hopefully have no more incidents. You know, it's very concerning that the community is not doing well, and, you know, that a lot more people are testing positive and being hospitalized and that kind of thing. You know, we're still, I think, probably better off than, you know, like Texas or Florida, but we're very worried about continuing spread of the infection, and that will lead to further backsliding. And for those of you who are dealing with, you know, closings or deals and that kind of thing, we just got a document back this morning from the recorder in the county that we had submitted for recording on June 15th. So they are getting even further behind. It was a month, and now it's, you know, it's 5 or 6 weeks that they're waiting on documents. Mm. Jefferson County had an incident last week. I think I told you this, that they, a security guy at the entrance tested positive, and so they shut everything down. Very short notice on Tuesday morning. Chris went down and did his docket in the parking lot and actually followed someone to their trailer park to make a deal with them. Mm. So that makes me nervous that he's running all over Jefferson County, you know, with infected people. But, you know, I think he tries to be careful, and you know, he got deals done, so that's good. We think in St. Charles they're getting nervous. I think they have actually gone back a phase, but they take the position in St. Charles, bless their little hearts, that landlord-tenant cases fall within the definition of urgent cases that can be prosecuted even in phase 0. Mm. Yeah. Mm. I think in St. Louis County, you know, I mean, I'm very fond of many of these judges, but there's a couple of them that I think just don't want evictions to happen. Mm-hmm. They think it's bad to do that in these times. And, you know, the problem is it's not fair to put the whole burden of this horrible apocalypse just on the landlords and the property owners. I mean, that's completely unfair. Mm-hmm. You know, if they want us not to evict people, then they need to give you guys grants and assistance and that kind of thing to take the place of this rent. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I still think we have a higher percentage of paying than other parts of the country, but, you know, I'm sure you're concerned, as am I, that once the enhanced unemployment stops, mm-hmm. you know, people who have been paying won't. And there are some people, I think, who have been getting the enhanced unemployment and just not paying you guys, just deciding to keep the money for whatever else they need it for. I think I've told you before, not to be disloyal, but if I had to choose between paying my rent and feeding my family, there'd be food. But, you know, we better hope they get their act together in Washington and pass another stimulus bill to help everyone. You know, it's a little scary here in our office, but so far we're okay. That initial PPP money really helped us and helped me keep everybody employed here and paid and the health insurance and all that. And I'm paying my landlord of my office. So, yeah. But, you know, there's rumors that there might be another round of that. We could use that. And particularly if they're not going to let us get back to normal with the courts and everything.
Right.
So, I think federal court is up and running again. I appeared in a phone-in bankruptcy hearing this week. I can't think of anything else right now that I have. Would anybody like to ask any questions?
I'm just glad you're setting a good example, Kathie, paying your own landlord there. That's good, refreshing news to hear right there.
Well, if I hadn't gotten that PPP money, I would have been making that sad call to my landlord about, you know.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Can we cut the rent or what can we do to work through this? And interestingly enough, I guess I could tell you this. I was interviewed by a reporter from NPR the other day, Kevin something. He was sent to me by a tenant lawyer who works for legal services, Ryan Swearingen, who I'm good friends with, Rob Swearingen. And they're anticipating that there's going to be this big flood of evictions once the CARES Act moratorium stops, which is, you know, this weekend or Monday. And I'm not sure that that's going to happen. Do any of you have federally backed Section 8 tenants or anything like that you're planning to throw into eviction right away? No? We're hoping that that the Section 8 people are, you know, there's at least the landlords are getting paid the subsidized part, and that that's helpful. But apparently everyone's predicting this huge influx of evictions into the courts. So if you have anything that you want to get on file, I'd try to get it on file today or this weekend, so that you if there is a big backlog, it's going to be filed next week, so that you get ahead of them. We are kind of allowing, there's a requirement in the CARES Act that, you know, the moratorium is through, I think, the 26th, but that then you have to give a 30-day notice. And that's kind of ambiguous under Missouri law. Obviously, that was passed as a federal law to cover all 50 states, and every state has different laws. And in Missouri, the law is that the filing of the lawsuit counts as a demand. So we think there's an argument to be made that you don't have to do the 30-day demand, that you could go ahead and file on those kinds of cases where you have federal loans and everything, or Section 8 on Monday. However, we've discussed this with our clients that are in that position, and some of them, particularly the big complexes, I think don't want to borrow trouble and get in trouble with their federal backed loan. And so they are choosing to send demands out next week and then wait another 30 days to file.
Just sounds like it's getting more complicated.
Yeah, I think it is. And, you know, I would like to see Congress pass something to help everyone before they go on their August recess, but I'm not sure that'll happen.
When is their recess?
I think it's maybe the beginning of August, so they've got one more week.
Okay.
Maybe they'll stay extra, you know, that's what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's, I don't know, just your world must be a lot crazier than mine. I thought mine was pretty crazy, but Kathie, I think yours is, you don't have anything boring, do you?
No. And on top of everything else, you guys, I'll tell you this is a little personal, but I don't mind sharing. We have a Citibank American Airlines mileage business card that we've used for many years to charge our business expenses. And our big expense is court costs. We charge a lot of court costs on this card. And also different accounts we have with courts and, QuickBooks and the trash company, anything I can have get paid by the credit card, I usually do it because it's less work for me. Well, somebody last Friday bought like $16,000 worth of things in Brazil on that credit card.
Oh no.
And it might even be more than that. I mean, it's really hard to tell. And Citi has been so horrible. So, I've been wasting a lot of my time on phone with their quote unquote customer service, trying to get that straightened out. And I think everybody's using my personal American Express in the office to file and everything. Well, it's fine, and American Express does a good detail on their bill. I actually ran it by the accountant the other day and she's fine with it. Will just reimburse me and then I'll pay the card. But it's just so annoying to sit on these customer service things. And I think they're all using the excuse of COVID for why they don't respond to you or answer the phone or, why they make you stay on hold for 2 hours and that kind of thing.
Oh.
So I'm sure it's not easy for anyone.
Now, is the customer service in Brazil also that you're talking to?
No, I think maybe Indonesia.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it probably is. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wondered if they were the same people buying the stuff as the customers in the customer.
That could be too. I told the one person that, I've never been to Brazil. I'm not in Brazil now. And I don't think I could get to Brazil right now if I wanted to. So it's not me. They're like, well, we have to do the investigation before. I'm like, what's there to investigate?
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, I'm not there.
Kathie, I've had that happen to me, unfortunately, a couple of times in the last 5 or so years. And if you actually file a dispute, they have a certain number of days that they have to respond to you. They're probably going to have to close that card.
Oh, the card's already been closed.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, as soon as when I actually bought gas at Quick Trip in Maplewood with this card, came to the office 20 minutes later, I got on to, pay it. And I saw that there were $2,000 in charges. I locked the card and I started calling customer service. I was cut off 3 times. I tried to do the chat feature and I think that was not a real person because they didn't seem to get what I was saying. I finally got through on the 4th try and they were going to take care of it, overnight me a new card and everything. And the next day when I got on to activate the new card on Saturday, another $14,000 in charges had posted. I mean, it was just like they didn't seem to really find this urgent. And they've told me it's going to take 1 to 2 billing cycles to remove all these charges. So these charges have put us over our available credit. And
that's ridiculous.
Right, and they won't take it off. They won't grant you a credit line increase while you're over your limit.
Wow. I've had mine stolen several times. I've never had anything like that. Usually it's just instant. They just stop it.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
I don't know who. Wow. That's Citibank, you said? That's a Visa card.
Yeah. It's Citibank.
Okay. Wow.
I've explained to them, I charge $300,000 or more on this card every year. And if I get a new card, I'm not coming back because by the time I change everything, all our automatic payments and everything, I won't do it.
Right.
It'll be too much work.
Oh.
And I've had an experience with Amex actually a couple of times where I've disputed a charge and they remove it immediately.
Amex is great. They actually called me in the middle of the night when I was in San Diego, and it was middle of the night for us, because it was different time. And it was morning, but they actually saw some charges they said didn't look like mine. It was Victoria's Secret and GameStop and all this kind of stuff. And it was a brand new card I got. The only time I used it was for my $25 at the airport. And the guy had to go inside, he said, because it didn't work. So I don't know where the thing was, but something happened. All of a sudden I had a few $1,000s worth of charges, but they called me. Amex was great. Never had it. He said, it's going to be on your billing cycle. Don't worry about it.
I couldn't believe they didn't figure this out right away.
Well, especially if it's not like your normal, purchasing, it's just not normal. They don't normally, I've had mine stolen, I don't know, several times, even my bank accounts more than once. And the bank usually contacted me first, but even when they didn't, I didn't lose a dime. Yeah. I know there's a federal law. They say you can lose, I think it's, you're obligated for what, $75, but I've never even paid that on any of my cards ever.
Yeah.
So
they don't want the bad press.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's unusual. I thought Citibank was a little, well, I don't know that much about them, other than I do have an account. I've never had a problem with them though.
Hey, Kathy, this is Dave Soto.
Hey, Dave. Dave, how
Hey,
you doing?
I'm doing fine. Hey, just a thought, because I had the same issue on a business credit card account. I mean, I have a lot of employees with credit cards with cards on the account,
Yeah, yeah.
and all of the recurring charges were on my credit card. And so if something happened, right, then just that one credit card gets canceled. So when mine got hit and I had to cancel it, I was talking to the person at the credit card company and I told him that means I have to go back and redo all my recurring accounts. And he said, "Why don't you just had a great idea? Get a separate card just for your recurring ones, so that if yours gets hacked, then you don't have to go do all those." So I've got two different credit cards in my with my name. One I use for my recurring charges, and one I use for my everyday use.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just feel like, you know what I just thought of? I wonder if this being over my limit has hurt my credit score. I bet it has. I mean, oh my goodness. I just feel like I'm really aggravated with them, and I'm kind of done. And I have 2 employee cards, and we can't use those either because it's all over the limit of the account.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy,
Yeah.
I had that happen once, and the over limit was there, but once you put the dispute out there, all that goes through the agencies, and then your credit score adjusts back, if it even adjusts at all. That's what happened in my case.
Well, that's good to know. I think I'm going to apply for a different card, and because it's a little inconvenient having to go on my personal Amex, you know, it's keeping track of stuff. But I was just thinking, I wonder if maybe I can't even get one now. You know, I don't know.
And you may want to just put a statement out on TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, and I think Novus is the other one, about what happened recently. So it'd be like a fraud alert for the bureaus to know if something pops up, you need to be contacted on any new opening accounts.
Creditkarma.com
Yeah.
is a great resource. They can do all of what the previous, I'm not sure, I don't see the name, previous person was talking about. They can do all of that. They can freeze your credit reports immediately. You can add comments immediately. You can also, like he was saying, the dispute will definitely help you. The dispute is supposed to be automatic. Like they're disputing $10,000, takes it off of you're open to buy, which is your credit limit basically.
It doesn't with Citi. They've told me that it has to stay on there for 1 to 2 billing cycles while their security department investigates it.
Kathie, I'll send you one of my books. I got a book on credit. When I was a mortgage broker, I worked a lot with that. One of the things right now, nothing has been reported. It takes 30 days. If you want another card, I would rush out right now today and apply for one and get it before it even hits your credit report.
Okay.
They've got 30 days on that. Even if you're late, that's going to take a month or 2 to even get on there. By the time it hits, you'll already have a new account set up. But I'll go ahead and send you one of my books.
Gets a new card, right, John? She should turn around and freeze all her credit accounts so somebody else doesn't.
I don't like freezing them for different reasons. That particular one, though, I would just, you said you closed it. I would leave that one alone. Just keep an eye, just keep an eye on your stuff. And like, like Michael said, yeah, Credit Karma is a great place to get a lot of free stuff. And also Harry brought it up. You can put up to 100 words on your credit report. Now that's not going to help your score or anything, but it does let people. It does give you the chance and the opportunity to explain your situation. When I had people change jobs or get divorced or lose jobs or whatever the case was, and they had a few months where they got behind, they just put that statement on there. That doesn't help your score, but it really helps a lot as far as your credibility and your character. But yeah, I'll put a note down. I'll go ahead and send you a copy of my book here, and you can look through the brief, easy stuff on it.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
My big decision, and I've already started doing a little research on this, is which new card to get. We use the miles from this business card. We've never flown in coach to Europe.
Oh, okay.
I will say that. Okay. And I don't know that we're going anywhere anytime soon, but it's much easier for us to be in first or business. My husband has some breathing issues and it's just better there, but I'm kind of narrowed it down to either the Chase Sapphire Preferred something or the American Airlines card from business card from Barclays Bank instead of Citi.
Well, maybe
So
you
I'm
should
researching
cash in your points while you have advantage of the fraudulent charges there. Maybe they're giving you extra points in the meantime.
Well, on this card, my points go right into American Airlines as miles.
Okay.
So they're already deposited in there, but yeah, I haven't seen any big change in my miles yet. I don't think it happens until the statement comes out. But yeah, if I get miles from it, great.
Yeah, and then close it
Yeah.
and say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe you can bring a couple extra people with you to Europe.
Yeah. Are any hands being raised for that?
Yeah, I guess
Everyone.
Sweden doesn't matter. As far as I know, they haven't been isolating at all. So I don't think they've got any restrictions. So if you want to go to Sweden, but I think UK and a number of other countries won't let any Americans in right now.
I know. I don't think I could get to Canada.
Yeah.
And then, I think you have to worry if you go now, will the US let you back?
Mm.
Or will you have to quarantine for 2 weeks or
Right.
whatever? Yeah, and I obviously can't be doing that with all the other crazy stuff we have going on.
Well, they say if you're going to Alaska, they'll let you pass through Canada. But there were some people I just read about the other day that decided to go on vacation. They just said they were going to Alaska, and they really didn't. They stayed in Canada for 2 weeks, and they all got caught and I don't know what, they got fined. I don't know what all happened, but they got in trouble. So don't try to do anything like that. But you can pass through if you're just going to Alaska. I know that much.
Well, okay, guys, this has been very helpful. Probably more
Thank you.
for me than for you.
Mhm.
Sorry about being late.
It's all right. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see y'all next week.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you
Thanks.
everybody for joining. We'll
Yeah,
see you
bye,
soon.
everybody.
Thanks,
See you
everybody.
later.
Take
Thanks,
care.
everybody. Bye.